Okay, just before we go the other way, I want to give you a little bit more, all right? Now, you're probably thinking, well, this is easy so far. I can kind of handle this, right? Well, there's a bit more. There's a bit more coming. Before you go the other way, I'd just like you to become, also, as well as being mindful of whose material are we talking about here and what question might I ask next and so on. And incidentally, just on that point about what question I'm going to ask next, don't be scared of just listening to the other person and waiting until they've finished before you think about what you're going to ask next. Pauses are fine, you know. That's fine. You know, there's no pressure to fill the airtime necessarily. Conversely, if you feel the other person, you know what, they're actually rabbiting on a wee bit, and in fact we're kind of wasting the airtime, and it would be good to ask them a question that's going to take them a bit deeper or a bit more profound or whatever, then go right in there with your question. Interrupt. You know, this is real life we're talking about. It's not always easy, and time is usually short. You know, imagine you, for example, that you meet by chance, you meet somebody in departures at the airport. You know, they're going one way and you're going the other, and you've got 2 minutes or something to have a quick word with them, and you really need to find out something important or get some point across, you know. So sometimes time can be very short. Often time is short. So use it efficiently. And that usually means going fairly quickly to the deep stuff, you know, the thing that matters. And various things will help you do that, and one of them is the level of rapport you have with the other person. And a lot of that is about being the same as them. You know, are you talking about things in common and so on? But there's also the body language part of it, which is what I want to just make you mindful of, or get you to be mindful of at this point as well. So when you're talking to the other person, asking them questions and so on, also as well be aware of what you're doing with your whole presence, with your body, if you like. And the basic, the principle here is, the more you're like the other person, in every way really, the more they'll warm to you, be open with you, etc. Okay? So that has all sorts of manifestations, but one of them is that your posture. You know, how kind of like the other person are you? So this is the matching and mirroring thing that, you know, people sometimes find a bit, as it were, controversial. But the thing is, just look at it this way. If you're roughly like the other person, all other things being equal, it's going to be easier for you. Whereas, if you're mismatched, all other things being equal, it's going to be harder. All right? So become aware of how you're sitting, and just make yourself more like the other person as you're the listener. Okay? Because you're attending to the other person. So not only do you do that with what you say and with listening and so on, but just how you are kind of physically as well. Okay, so that can mean if their legs are crossed, you know, you might cross your legs and things like that. If they're quite dynamic when they speak, they move their hands and so on, then loosen up. You know, if you're somebody that normally sits quite stiff and, you know, doesn't really move, but you're speaking to somebody who's very animated, then when you speak, be more animated. It's a bit like a dance, you know, it's like getting into a dance with somebody. And it makes a difference. There's gender things to be aware of. For guys, there are certain postures that are rather difficult for a woman to match. Okay, I'm not going to say too much more about that. And ladies, there are certain leg crossing things that ladies do that actually are quite hard for a gent to match. All right, so that's somewhat less. Now, there's a thing where that ladies, you'll cross the legs and the toe behind. See, I can't demonstrate it because I can't do it. Well, guys can't do that. So if you sit like that, you're kind of saying you ain't going to get anywhere close to me, sort of thing, in any kind of way. So just be aware of, you know, are you kind of open or closed in how you are, you know, how you are with the other person. And that doesn't mean I don't mean necessarily open in the way your body is, so much as are you open in your being and in your presence. All right. So as well as all the question bit, I'd like you to be mindful of that as well. So going the other way now. And by the way, you're talking here, you've got 2 minutes to talk about whatever you like, but use the time wisely. You know, talk about something that matters, you know, something real. Because here's a chance to get listened to by somebody. I mean, you know, they might actually be able to help you. You never know. On you go.